Welcome to another edition of the Live Well and Fully podcast. Through this podcast, we help women remember that they matter too. We spark new insights on changes they might desire for in their own lives so they can step forward confidently and turn their dreams into reality.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Live Well and Fully. I'm Barbara Decker, and I'm here with Kathi Burns, and Kathi's interview is titled, How to Master Your Muck and Get Organized. Kathi is a board-certified professional organizer, image consultant, author, and speaker. And as the founder of Organized and Energized.com, her mission is to end overwhelm, energize, and transform lives by creating systems people can stick to. Kathi's advice has been featured in national media outlets, including Martha Stewart Living, Entrepreneur Magazine, Oprah, and more. And so welcome, Kathi. I'm going to start our timer and we'll jump right in if you're ready. Are you ready?
I am ready to go.
Okay. Question 1. How do you help women in the second half of their life create an extraordinary life?
I help them by helping them release the things that no longer serve them. As we get older, we tend to accumulate a lot of stuff. And the idea is, are you surrounding yourself with things that you use, need, and love? If you have things that you don't use, that you don't need, that you don't love, you need to get it out of there. Because we get crowded, we crowd ourselves into our homes and we crowd our lives with stuff that doesn't have meaning any longer to us, simply because we don't take the time to get rid of it. So I help clients learn how to release and let go. And that in turn helps them learn how to change with grace, because change happens all the time anyhow. So we might as well intentionally change into the next phase of our life. And we do that best by letting go of the stuff that's the old stuff, the oldie moldy that's no longer part of our life.
That's a beautiful answer. I agree. I have told my grown children when they ask me what I want as a gift that there's only one thing I want, and that is a card. It can't be a funny card, and don't buy me any more stuff because it's just more I have to get rid of, right?
Right.
So number 2, what is the problem you solve?
The problem I solve is helping people get out of inertia. A lot of people get stuck in their ways or stuck in their life, or they just get dormant. And by adding space to their life and eliminating all the crowdedness, they're able to actually move forward into doing what they really want to do. I find that a lot of people don't do things that they want to do because they feel like they have obligations in their home life or projects that are unfinished, all the things undone. And so they're just kind of stuck there. And they have so many things that are undone that they can't move at all, let alone move forward. So I help them by showing them how to eliminate the stuff that's maybe holding them back from having fun and going out and having fun with friends, learning how to play golf, all the stuff that we want to do, as we get older, because we have more free time. But what I find sadly is people who are aging feel like they have less free time because they're encumbered by their possessions. In other words, their possessions are possessing them.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant answer. I often feel and hear that once we declutter the house, the mind seems to follow.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Number 3, what are typical symptoms people experience with this problem?
Well, like I said before, they get stuck. They're in inertia. They're in guilt. Guilt is a big player. When you have too much stuff, you tend to feel guilty. Either you're guilty because you overspend on things you don't use. You're guilty because you haven't been able to control your spending. You're guilty because you can't let go. You're guilty because you think you want to have fun, but you shouldn't have fun because you have things that are unfinished that you have on the to-do list, so to speak, right? The task list. So that's the major culprit, I think, of people really living their purpose and being in the moment, is they're just stymied in guilt.
Yeah, I think you're right. Thank you. What is one valuable free resource that you can direct people to for help with this problem?
They can go to my organizeandenergize.com website, and they can download 6 steps to organize and energize your life. There's a lot of free reports on there. That's the one that would be very good. So go to organizeandenergize.com. You can download your free report, no obligation, and get started on eliminating the things in your life that no longer serve you.
Perfect. And we'll put the link below the podcast so those of you listening can just look there and don't have to write it down. What are the common mistakes people make when they're trying to solve the problem themselves, Kathi?
They get into overwhelm, and so then they get stuck. I have a client this afternoon that she knows what she needs to do, but there's so many things that she needs to do that she can't make any progress because she's in overwhelm. She doesn't know step 1, 2, or 3. And that's where professional organizers and people in my industry come in really handy, because we come in as objective observers and we can really go, okay, here's step 1, and here's step 2, and here's step 3. And this is the people know the end goal that they want, but they don't know the steps to get there. So I think the common mistake is thinking that they can do it all on their own. And you know what? If clutter has 4 best friends: death, disease, divorce, and dependence. Right. So if you have more than one of those, you need professional help, probably. My client that I'm starting this afternoon, she's had 2 people die on her. She's just recovered from 2 broken shoulders, and she has 3 big dogs, which are dependents. Wow. So she has 3 of clutter's best friends. And I said, there's it's understandable why you're where you are. It's understandable that you don't know how to move forward. You just need some clarity, and you need step 1, 2, 3 to be laid out for you. And you need a helping hand to get the momentum started.
That sounds exactly right. I agree. I lost both my parents during the same 18 months, and my son was deep in addiction at the same time. And it was a very difficult period.
Yeah.
So I could have used you then.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no stigma to needing a professional organizer. I know we discussed this briefly about, people thinking stigma needing your help. People feel the same way oftentimes, saying, I don't need an organizer. I can do this on my own. And I would never say that I had a professional organizer because I can handle it. But there's nothing wrong with saying that you need help, because in my book, How to Master Your Muck, I have a chapter, Masters Hire Masters. The most masterful people in the world have other mentors and other coaches to help them do things that they cannot do on their own. So there's no stigma to hiring people to help you out of the ditch that you might be in. And there's no guilt with being in the ditch that you're in, because like I say, life happens. And if you have a compilation of any of those 4 Ds, it sounds like you had 3 big ones right there. You probably had a lot of muck in your life. You probably had a lot of clutter because you couldn't deal with it, because you were dealing with the more important things that were happening in your life.
Yep. That's exactly right. We're through it now, but it was a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Kathi, what is one tip a listener can use now that will help them solve this problem?
If you feel like you're cluttered and you don't know where to begin, start with your sock drawer. The reason I say that is it's a contained, confined amount of space. It's usually not a giant thing. And the most important thing, you don't have emotional attachments to your socks. At least most of the people, 99% of the people. I have had a couple clients who are very attached to their socks because they do theme socks. But start there. Eliminate the socks that are loosey-gooseys that don't have mates. Eliminate the ones that have holes that are all stained and tattered, and create some type of order in your sock collection, and make sure that your socks fit into one drawer and one drawer only. So gather them all up if they're scattered all around, sort them, get rid of the ones that are riffraff, and place them nicely into your drawer. That will make you feel masterful. That will give you a win. And with that win, you can build into something bigger and something, a larger project. Whatever you do, do not start with your junk drawer, because that's just chaos in a handbag. And no one can really handle their junk drawer. So don't even go there. Socks are great. Socks are a gateway.
For me, the junk drawer, I should just dump it every 2 years, and I'd probably never mess a thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's just too much random in there to even begin to get organized. So
Yeah.
don't start there. That's just throwing a little bottleneck in the progress. But socks are a good thing to
Good.
start with.
I agree. That's a wonderful tip. And what should I have asked you that I didn't, Kathi? And what's the answer to that thing?
That's a very good question. I think the idea is, what do I really do as a professional organizer? And it's not really about getting organized. It's about creating change. And I consider myself a change agent. My goal is to help you change and move forward into living your purpose. So you might think that you're getting organized, but really you're shifting your mind into being able to get into and live your purpose. Do the stuff that you really want to do, that you feel called to do. And when you learn how to change through eliminating your stuff, then you're on your way.
That's a great answer. Thank you. And that's a wrap. So I'd like to thank you so much, Kathi, for spending this time with us. I think everybody listening will have picked up at least one and probably 3 or 4 things that they're eager to do right away after listening to the podcast. And you've been inspirational. To all of those listening, I hope you find a pocket of joy today because you were so worth it. Bye for now. Talk soon.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to be notified when new episodes are released. Then visit www.livewellandfully.com/workshop to experience the Love Another Way framework firsthand.